What up, what up? This is Finance, Fitness, and Folk, the channel where we discuss finance, a little bit of fitness, talk about some folk. So in today's episode, I'm going to talk about how you should put God first in everything you do. So admin notes, thanks again to all the subscribers that subscribe to the channel. I endeavor to keep pushing these videos out to give you leverage to better yourselves. Once again, I'm walking during morning rush hour traffic, so I'm definitely going to talk as loudly as possible so I can convey this message. Because I don't have too much time. I got to get ready for work, and I would do it later on, but a lot of times my evenings are kind of sold up with my family. So, work-life balance. That might be another video I push out there, you know what I'm saying? Because men especially need work-life balance, because there's too many men out here dropping dead because they're working too hard. But anyway, let's get into it. So why should you put God first in everything you do? Well, it's very simple. God is your creator. You didn't create yourself. That's what I believe in, right? So, for those who don't believe in God, I still suggest you still watch this video to the end, because you might learn something. Even if you're an atheist, you might learn something, who knows? Because, I don't believe in chance. I think everything has a purpose. I believe every person that's born in this world has a purpose. Everybody. You wasn't born by chance. You wasn't born by luck. It doesn't work that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about your own consciousness. You know what I'm saying? Like, who created your consciousness? Who created your soul? How did you get here? I understand that the conventional way, you know what I'm saying, your mom and your dad have relations and they conceived you, right? I understand that, you know what I'm saying? But what's the real reason why you are here? You know what I'm saying? Just the fact that you're alive and you're breathing and you're watching the video means you have some type of purpose. That's really what it means. There's no such thing as you was born by chance. That doesn't work that way, right? So let me go ahead and give you guys a backdrop as to my journey with God, with Christ, and then I give you some insight on why you should put God first in everything you do. So my wife, right? I started dating my wife when I was 18 years old. She was 17, going on 18. And it was high school. I was a senior, she was a junior, and I really didn't want to date her, honestly. That's just really. She'll tell you this if she was on this video. She was around me right now. Like, it wasn't that I didn't think she was pretty, and it wasn't that I didn't think that she was a good fit for me. It was just at the time I just really didn't have the mentality of being in a relationship. I wasn't doing too good in school. This is the last semester, senior year. I was doubling up on classes to graduate on time. You know what I'm saying? I was really focused on school at the time. But she pushed and pushed and pushed. Thank God she did. And then eventually, by the time the summer ended, we started dating. Dated for a whole year. And then once that year was up, she wound up breaking up with me. Now, I don't fault her for breaking up with me, because at the time I wasn't working. I was in college, but I was fucking out of college, not doing what I was supposed to do, right? And she was starting college, actually going to the same college that I was going to, Norfolk State University, the whole degree in gold. And at the time, she had a lot of big goals in life, and she felt like I was, she was going in one direction, and I was going in another direction. She wanted to go in a direction of prosperity and to do something for herself. And me, I was being stagnant, right? So I say this because my wife was raised in the church, right? So it's not that I didn't know about church. It's not that I didn't know about God, because we did go to church, but not regularly. We went to church as a family, like Easter, Christmas, Thanksgiving, things of that nature, right? Like, we wasn't really deep in the church. My wife was literally born and raised in the church. And while we was dating, I started going to church with her, right? So I started to get more of a sense of who God was and how God works. So once we broke up, I was so heartbroken that I kept going to church. My mom would tell you, I would get up early on Sunday morning, get myself dressed at 19 years old, and I would literally walk about 1.5 miles one way to church every single Sunday without fail. As long as I wasn't sick, I was going to church, right? And then I joined the Army. A couple years later, we wound up getting back together, got married, and and that's the end of that story, right? Well, story is not ending, the story is still going on, right? But that was my first journey as far as how God works, and I've been in the church ever since then. So one thing I would say about God is that doesn't matter what you do in life, it doesn't matter how bad you think you are in life or how bad you think things are, how bad you think you are towards God. God wants to hear from you. He wants to talk to you. He wants you to pray to him, right? And once you get the relationship with God, then you can start putting God first. That's the reason why I say the things I said at first in the beginning of this video, because you have to build a relationship with God in order to put God first in everything you do. You put God first in everything you do, and I'm telling you, your life will expound tremendously. And your relationships and your marriage, and your finances, and your kids' life, and your job, your career, your business, I mean, everything. Put God first. Because he really, really wants to hear from you. He really wants to have a relationship with you. And you're not going to be able to, get the benefits of being a child of God unless you have a relationship with him. It's more than just going to church. It's more than just reading the Bible. It's more than just, clapping your hands in church, dancing around in church, telling folks that you love the Lord, but you really ain't talked to the Lord and good knows how long. You know what I'm saying? Like it runs a lot deeper than that. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm not telling you how to build a relationship with God. You have to figure that on your own. But the first step you need to do for real is to pray. You need to start praying. And one thing about God is he's a gentleman. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to force you to do anything you don't want you to do, that you don't want to do. But he will be there, waiting for you once you get ready to come to him. That's all he wants you to do. And I'm telling you right now, putting God first has been so much of a benefit to my life. It really has. You know what I'm saying? Like, just creating this YouTube channel was me putting God first, because I think I said in the previous video, for a long time, for some years, I was making videos on YouTube. I'm not on YouTube, on Facebook. And like I said, I wasn't sure if folks were getting benefit to it or not. I had a couple of views. Folks would comment on the videos and stuff like that. But I just had a real deep inside feeling or urge to make videos, right? And I'm naturally an introvert. I don't like being around people a lot. I don't necessarily like being interactive with a lot of folks at one time, which is kind of contradictory to being in the army, because it really forced me to be the extrovert than an introvert. So I can switch it, don't get me wrong, but my nature is to be an introvert. It just really is, My wife would tell you, what I'm saying? I'm totally fine with being by myself for hours versus, sitting and conversating with somebody. But for some reason, there was an urge in me to get on video and start talking. And this is outside of my comfort zone, But it felt like literally God was telling me, you need to put information out there. You need to, to help folks. And this is me putting God first by making videos. Because God wants me to do this. I wholeheartedly feel that and believe that he wants me to do this. Think about this. How many times you passed by somebody or been in a situation to where God spoke to you and you didn't take action? Think about that. I know for myself, it's been plenty of times where there's been, situations, scenarios, people that I ran across, and it felt like God was just right in my ear telling me to do something, to say something, and I didn't do it. Whether it be through embarrassment, whether it be through, like me being an introvert, I really didn't want to talk to anybody. And I missed out on an opportunity to bless somebody. I really did. And, I don't regret too many things in life. And, things happen for a reason. But, that's one of the things that I've really tried to, in my older age, to not do, and to really listen and to obey God when he wants me to do things like that. Because guess what? That opportunity that you missed out on blessing somebody, God's going to grab somebody else to bless that person. Because what you won't do, the other one will. And God's going to make sure that his will is done. He's always going to make sure of that, So if he wanted that person to be blessed, and he told you to do it, and you didn't do it, he's going to get somebody else to do it. I promise you he will. You know what I'm saying? So we got to work in God's will, and putting God first in everything you do is working in God's will. You shouldn't take any type of major action in your life without putting God first and asking God, what do you want me to do, Lord? What do you want me to do about this? I need guidance. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not telling you not to talk to your friends, not to talk to a mentor, anything like that. But I know for myself, the first thing that I try to do every single time is get on my knees and pray to God and ask him, what would you have me to do, Lord? What do you want me to do about this? How should I go about living my life? You know what I'm saying? And I'm telling you, once you do that with a whole heart, you know what I'm saying? I mean, your life is just going to, you know, it's going to expand. It just really is. And once again, let me just put an emphasis on this once again. I don't care what you've done in life. I don't care how bad you think things have gotten. I don't care how bad you think you are as a person. God is still waiting there to hear you. He really is. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how many times I heard somebody, you know, say that, you know, I've done too much, man. I've done too many bad things in my life. I've messed up too much. God don't want me. That's a lie. That's the devil. That is the enemy telling you a freaking lie. That's what he's doing. He's telling you a lie. There's nothing you can do to put you outside of God's presence. You know what I'm saying? Now, don't get me wrong. You know what I'm saying? God cannot be in the same space as sin. You know what I'm saying? But if you come to him with a whole heart and ask God, you know, Lord, I'm a wretched sinner, and I want to be saved. I want to talk to you. I want to have a relationship with you. Man, I'm telling you, man, I feel like jumping up, man. I really do. Like, I'm telling you, if you come to God like that, I'm telling you, he is waiting for you. God is waiting for you to do things like that. You know what I'm saying? He wants you to come to him. He wants you to have a relationship with him. Put God first, y'all. Put God first in everything you do in life, and I'm telling you, your life will be so much of a success. And I'm telling you, putting God first is actually going to bless somebody else, because that's showing somebody else an example of how successful you can be if you put God first in your life. All right? Like, comment, and subscribe. I endeavor to keep pushing these videos out to give you leverage to better yourselves. Finance, Fitness, and Folk. Triple F, I'm gone.